out of nowhere and flings them into the team, there is just a plethora of damage that will be coming down between Ari and then Hecarim running around with his AoE as well, and not to mention Shield and Sword will be doing damage to whatever Singe throws back. So, but on the flip side of the coin, Day Wards does need to watch out again, as we mentioned. Oriana and Zac ult, and then not to mention the poke coming out from the acceleration gate with Fupa Sniper. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these two team comps, really counteract each other if they can.
Yeah, and Condemned Gaming has the ability to protect the Vayne in quite a big way. I mean, if you look at all their crowd control, Janna has the ability to slow a champ. She has the ability to knock up a champ. She has the ability to, blow an entire team back with her ultimate, as well as, heal Snikkas here. Wylade has the ability to throw her shield down onto Vayne so that Vayne doesn't take as much damage. Zac can use his elastic slingshot in combination with his ultimate, the Let's Bounce. So they really do have the ability to protect Vayne. It'll just be a matter of execution. The Daewoo does have quite a bit of dive, and so it'll be interesting to see kind of, what's going to be stronger, the dive or the ability for them to protect that Vayne combination.
And guys, I'm so sorry, but I don't know why, but my client crashed loading into this game. So let's go through the team comps as they are. Can you take that away, Sana?
Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. So we have the two teams are Condemned Gaming on the blue side, and Day Wards on the blue side, and then Condemned Gaming on the purple side. For Day Wards, we have Revex on Lulu, she's picked Lulu 3 times and won 2 of those games. So we'll see if they can go for 3 for 3 on that. We have Hill of Shovel on Hecarim. We have Shield and Sword on Ezreal. We have Bright Nova on Ari, and we have Blade Sora on Singe. Should also be noted that Blade Sora was a last-minute substitute here. Momo couldn't play in this last game, and he was usually their jungle, whereas Hill of Shovel was their top lane. So there is a little bit of a switch there. Hill of Shovel is playing in the jungle on Hecarim, and Blade Sora is playing on the top lane on this Singe. And then on the other side, we have Condemned Gaming on the red team. We have Wylade on Oriana, Travis on Janna, Lurkenberger on Zac in the jungle, Snikkas is on Vayne, and Fupa Sniper is on the Jace up in that top lane. So very interesting team composition. Were you able to get back into the game? Was it able to let you back into that spectate mode?
Yeah, I am in there, but
Okay.
yeah, the stream is just not popping up for 1 second, but I am working on that to just get it back up and running. So apologize for the technical difficulties, but yeah, I'm just trying to get the feed back up right now.
Okay. So it looks like there are pretty standard jungling routes here. Day Wards is going for their blue buff. Condemned Gaming is throwing down some wards, actually. So this will be kind of interesting to see. So there are actually some early wards coming out from Condemned Gaming into their jungles to prevent the invades from Day Wards. But Day Wards hasn't invaded in the couple of games that we've watched. So it doesn't look like they're going to invade here. It looks like it's just going to be a traditional blue start for both members, or for both junglers on both Condemned Gaming and Day Wards. So it looks like Lurkenberger and Hill of Shovel will just both be happy to take their blue out. They're actually dancing in the bush over here, so it's kind of comical.
So the feed is finally back up. I apologize for that. And as you said, they are setting up for their blue. This is, again, the championship game for the Silver League. So no one wants to take anything, take any drastic risks to, hinder their possibility of attaining this win. So as it goes for the items right now, pretty standard with Doran's Blades on bottom. And how do you feel about Oriana going boots and pots?
Well, the charm coming out from Ari could be absolutely devastating to Oriana, because not only does it do quite a bit of damage, but it also removes her ability to throw her shield on herself. So she really does need that extra mobility in order to um, do that extra damage. But there is, sorry, she needs that. She needs her boots to be able to avoid that extra damage. But there is a lane swap coming out.
Interesting.
So this is kind of unprecedented here.
Yeah. So. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was done. You can go ahead.
So yeah, it seems this was initiated by Condemned Gaming, seeing as they really didn't want to let that Singe get out of hand, and Vayne naturally does have a strong chance against. And meanwhile, there's some aggression going on in mid, but as going back to that point, Vayne does have a great advantage over melee champions, and that's why you might see some Vaynes going top lane, but. And actually Snickers gets thrown back into Blade Sorrow's tower there.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate for her just going for that. But it looks like Lurkenberger is coming up top to put some more pressure on this tower. It looks like they want to go for an early turret here.
Yeah, Hill of a Shovel is really going to need to, show himself somewhere in the lane, because Blade Sorrow will not be able to defend this tower for that much longer if 3 people are up here constantly.
And Hill of a Shovel looks like he's trying to either gank the bottom lane or just push the turret. It's like a turret race here, and it looks like we might have a really early tower going down in this game.
Wow. So yeah, the towers are pretty much equal for both sides, both at less than half health right now. So, and well, actually, Blade Sorrow's towers has got a little bit more health. Vayne does have that trouble pushing because with her short range, she cannot get entirely too close to the tower, especially with the Singe there to be able to toss them back into the turret range.
Yeah, and it actually looks like
Lurkenberger jumps in on Bright Nova, getting that elastic slingshot knock up. The charm comes down, but Wile just misses that command move, and they will not pursue that kill any further. But Hill of a Shovel is creeping up, or no, he's just going to go back into his jungle.
Yeah, and it looks like she didn't quite have enough mana for dissonance there. She threw her ball down, but she couldn't, so that you have the command attack, which is where you move your ball, and then you have the command dissonance, is where the ball kind of flattens out and either speeds or slows up an enemy or a allied champion. So she threw her ball down. She wasn't quite in range to get down that distance, but she may have been out of mana. Orianna being a very, very mana hungry champion. So
absolutely. And Hill of a Shovel and Lurkenberger, the junglers for both teams, are now grouped up at bottom tower, but they are just relentless. They don't want to let this tower go, and with Lurkenberger's cell division up, he's not afraid to tank a little bit of damage if it means some of the creep waves going down.
Yeah, and the farm from both top laners, both Singed and Jace, is pretty even, and so is the farm from the ad carries. 36 to 36 and 13 to 14, so very even off the bat. And even in the mid lane, there's a little bit of a CS advantage for Ahri, but not really enough to make anything of note, because it's only about 8. I guess 8 CS is quite a big difference. So that wave is starting to, or that CS lead is starting to go in favor of Team Day Wards here. And
Fupa Sniper and company just doing a great job of just keeping this tower up. I mean, they've withstood 2 waves with three champions down at bottom, and actually Blade Sorrow's tower is falling dangerously low as well.
But it looks like the bottom tower is going to go down.
The exhaust does go down on Zac, and he will get cell division, and First Blood will go to Shield and Sword here, because Jace was just not in the position to defend that. He had no mana, and he couldn't do anything. And as well, Blade Sorrow's tower up top goes down as well.
So, all in all, the only difference there really is that First Blood, and the advantage also going towards Daewoo, but it looks like Ahri.
Nice kill from Bright Nova. Just gets that ignite with just being in that tower range. Took 1 hit and just ulties out. And I think he just leveled there and got that kill there, Isana.
Yeah, no, he did. He just got level 6, and he noticed that Orianna was still level 5, which gave him the ability to pop that ultimate. And running dangerously low on mana, it would have been somewhat comical if he jumped in there to get the kill and then couldn't Spirit Rush out. But obviously it working out for them, and Orianna drops to that Ahri because she wasn't quite level 6 yet.
Yeah, great play coming out from Day Wards. Bright Nova just showing his dominance in that mid lane as usual, playing those aggressive champions, and we sure saw that aggression play out in a form of a kill, and now Daywards are up 2 kills to nothing with a 1K lead, and it's only 7 minutes in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this continues to progress. It looks like the junglers are taking the second blue buffs to try to level a little bit. Hecarim does have a significant CS advantage over Zac. Zac, remember, was defending the bot turret for quite a long time, and Hecarim was pushing. And so it looked like Hecarim got quite a bit of gold there and gifted some of that CS over to... Zac gifting some of that CS over to his top laner, Jace, which I guess is playing in the bot lane. So the meta top laner in the bottom lane.
Right, and Hill of Shovel just roams up the top. He was spotted by the ward from Condemned Gaming, and you can see the team collapsing up. Riley is creeping up. He does have that blue buff. They don't see him come through, but he will be spotted here. Let's see how Daywards reacts. And they're going to collapse. The nice shot. Oh, the shockwave just misses due to the Essence shift. Arcane shift, I'm sorry. But Larkenberger jumps in, but he's a second too late. And great disengage by Daywards there. Seeing all the wards vision, giving out all their the champions' locations.
Yeah, the shockwave missing because of the arcane shift. But we'll see what happens.
Engage does go from Bright Nova. She lands the charm, and she's going to go all in. She uses all 3 charges of her Spirit Rush and does not walk away with the kill. She does not have Ignite up, but she definitely forced the Ignite out of Wylate. But they're going to get the tower in lieu of that kill.
You know, really the difference there was that Ahri did not land her charm. And so Wylate had the ability to throw his protective ball on top of himself, which shielded him from just enough damage so that Ahri didn't pick up the kill. In addition, Ahri did not have her Ignite up in that fight, which couldn't secure the kill for him.
And Bladesword was just running around the jungle. The curious thing I'm wondering about is how come that the lane swap did not revert back to the bottom lane there, Sana?
Well, I think what it was just an inconvenient time to switch. Jace had just gotten back into lane, but it looks like there's an engage going down. So just exchanged quite a bit of damage there. But Jace walking out of that, not knowing where the jungler is. So I'm not sure why they didn't switch back to the bottom lane. I think it might be because Vayne is not that great at escaping. Vayne really just has her roll and her flash and a condemn, but you can't really get away from that many people, with the condemn. So if the jungler were to gank in the bottom lane, it's likely that Hecarim would be able to get a kill because they don't have that tower down there. Whereas Ezreal and Lulu can escape quite handily with that arcane shift and the slow and the whimsy. And so they're much more comfortable putting Ezreal and Lulu without a tower behind them than they are with Singed, who essentially just has his ultimate and his ghost.
Right, and they do want to defend that tower, so I'm guessing that's maybe the rationale they're choosing to keep that dual lane up there, keep that tower as long as possible, and Snick is going quite aggressive on the Revex, seeing that he's low, and the ulti comes out from Shield and Sword, slow down the creeps, but he's actually moving up, but he has no mana to progress further onto this kill. But Hill of Shovel coming up here, he has not been spotted by the wards yet, but he shows himself, and let's see how Condemned Gaming chooses to react to this.
Yeah, it looks like the Condemned Gaming is they're kind of on their heels. They're trying to react to what Daywards is doing at this point, but they're just having to cover the other lanes. And so you can see how Condemned Gaming is trying to react, but they're just doing it a little bit late. However, there are 4 members of the red team converging on this top lane, but Ahri's likely called Mia and followed a little bit and then told her team to get out of there because they're about to be in a lot of pain if they stick around.
And also, both supports don't have any more wards, so they do not want to risk that chance of finding someone coming out of the river and just blowing that team fight wide open. So good decision by Daywards to back out, understanding that they need vision before they progress further onto that top tower.
Now, there is a slight CS advantage in the favor of Israel, and he's actually gone back and got himself a BF sword. And if Vayne isn't able to match that damage, she likely won't go for a BF sword. She'll probably go for Blade of the Rune King, so probably will get that Bilgewater Cutlass first. But it's going to be kind of difficult for her to match damage with Ezreal, at least until she finishes that Blade of the Rune King. Bilgewater Cutlass just not doing as much damage. Actually, it looks like instead of going for Build Water Cutlass, she's going for a little bit more attack speed to try to get those true damage procs. So she
So
got two daggers to give her that extra attack speed.
right, and I don't really fault her for that, but she does lose a little bit of that she does lose that active to slow down anyone that's in range of her. But attack speed is just a probably one of the best attributes you can give for Vayne, seeing as you want to get as many of those Silverbolt procs as possible. But
Yeah.
they are pushing towards that top tower. Hell of Shovel is just coming up here. He's trying to provide support, and Snickers is not going to be able to hold this by herself.
Now she's just going to have to give that up. Her support actually is down warding Dragon, trying to give them vision control. So it makes me think that Condemned Gaming might be wanting to go for the first Dragon of the game here. Snickers is still up in the top farming, but he's in a lot of trouble because there are 3 members of Daewoo up here, and only 2 members, almost 3 members now, of Condemned Gaming up in the top lane.
Right, so Lurkenberger is coming up to provide some presence up here, but Hell of Shovel just gonna interrupt Snickers while he's doing the golems, but he does manage to steal that big golem away, so that is definitely worth. They didn't want to progress any further on Snickers because they don't have vision of what's beyond this red buff here, and they don't want to give anything away, even with that huge wave going up top. So Vayne would be getting kills and the farm up top. So good job backing out for Day Wards.
Yeah, and it looks like down in the bot lane, Singed or Bladestora on Singed tried to steal away that blue buff, but got caught out by Fupa Sniper on Jace. There was quite a bit of damage exchanged. However, it was a creep that blocked that last Q from Jace, and so he didn't quite land that last ability that probably would have gotten him the kill. So yeah,
all 5 members of Condemned Gaming are grouped around the middle area. You have to think they want to get this dragon, and a Shield and Sword's just going to walk right into a Lurkenberger on Zac, and the command shockwave goes down, but no Let's Bounce yet, and several cooldowns being blown. Onslaught of Shadows goes in. Ezreal goes through almost the entire team, but Cell Division is popped. They're trying to protect this Zac right now. Bladesora are coming up. Violate's caught out there, but Lurkenberger is just forced to be the sacrificial lamb, as they do not want to give any more kills since Singe is showing up. And they're just going to keep retreating and peeling. And yeah, just good engage by Day Wards to just understand that they have the Zac. Let's keep going on them and just try and get that Cell Division passive for a kill.
You know, that was a really good thought by Condemned Gaming to try to get that shockwave off. But I mean, as the name implies, it really has to be a shock. But it looks like we don't have another gauge. You know, it really has to be a shock, but it didn't quite do all that much damage yet. I mean, even though essentially there's no magic resist items on Ezreal, they weren't able to get him down, even though that shockwave landed and he did get crowd controlled. He just was able to arcane shift out of that with over half health.
Yeah, and also not to mention, Condemned Gaming, although they were nearby, they were not ready to fully engage and just follow up with their cooldowns as well. So that shockwave nearly went in vain just because no one was able to follow up, and Ezreal just arcane shifted out of there. He did have Revax there to quickly wild growth him, and just in case there were any more impending cooldowns to be laid upon Shield and Sword.
Yeah, and the real advantage was the fact that once Command Gaming stepped out of that bush near the river there, they weren't able to see any members of Day Wards, whereas Day Wards did have a ward in that bush that was placed pretty quick after that engage.
Lurkenberger's just going to jump in, but they knew they were there the whole time. Bright Nova's trying to take down Zac one more time. He will go down to Bright Nova. Bladesora just running through with that poison gas, and Wiley does go down to Shield and Sword over here, and while Bladesora just zones out the entire bot lane for Condemned Gaming.
So this looks like another pretty good beginning game for Day Wards here. They have built quite a commanding 5k gold advantage, but they do have a pretty early game pretty good early game advantage here. Late game Vayne is something that you don't really want to reckon with. Late game Vayne can dish out a ton of damage very, very quickly. And so, really, Vayne can't do a whole lot compared to Ezreal. We are kind of shifting into that mid game now, and this is where Ezreal kind of reaches his peak. But unless they can continue to push this advantage towards the late game, Command Gaming always has that ability to come back simply because that Vayne is kind of like the ace in the hole, assuming she can get enough gold.
Right, and Day Wards actually did pick up that dragon there, extending their lead even further to just about 6k. There's quite a big minion wave up top, forcing Snickers to go up there and farm it just to try and speed up that process of getting in there. Oh, actually, Scumbag Chase actually steals a large chunk of that minion wave, leaving only the scraps for Snickers.
Well, you can't win them all, I guess. But Vayne is being allowed to free farm in the top lane. You can see that she hasn't built a significant gold or a significant farm advantage over that Ezreal just yet. But she is well on her way to do that. And, Vayne really, really, really needs to get farmed because she's not getting kills. And so she needs that farm so she can get that gold advantage so she can be that really scary late game Vayne. Whereas Ezreal does have that Bloodthirster completed, is going for, looks like Iceborne Gauntlet with that Sheen, and Manamune, which will ultimately be upgraded.
And the Lurkenberger jump just lands right in the middle of them, but obviously Hill for Shovel nukes down, gets, oh wow. I just cannot believe how much damage went on Lurkenberger there, but Hill of Shovel, great timing with that onslaught of shadows, just to, or actually didn't use the shadows, he just ran in there and just rampaged through there to thwart that attack, but Lurkenberger does fall down to Bright Nova again. Bright Nova just commanding so much pressure right now. She's 4-0-1 and she's got that Deathfire Grasp spell. That may have they may have surprised Lurkenberger there with that all that damage coming up front. And the command Shockwave does go down onto Blade Sorrow as Snickers is caught in it, but the Ignite goes down Blade Sorrow. Will he go down? That remains to be seen, but there's a lot of action going around. Fupa Sniper is just scattered away from his team right now, and this tower is going to fall for Dave Wards unless they do anything about it. But they see that Lurkenberger is back. They don't want to get caught in yet another Elastic Slingshot because Let's Bounce is available.
Yeah, and that was just great play by both teams. You can see no kills were exchanged, but everybody got really low. Blade Sorrow actually came within one auto attack of dying to that Vayne. He only had a couple hundred health left, and Vayne had 2 procs of her true damage on top of him. So if she had been able to jump in and get one more auto attack, likely he would have gone down to that Ignite. But Vayne's still not able to pick up any kills, and the game still sits at 6 kills to 0 in favor of Day Wards, who, again, look like they're taking a pretty commanding lead in this game. They're about 6k gold up at this point, and they do have all the global objectives, except for they did lose 1 tower in the top lane.
Right, so just looking at the minion counts, I mean, everyone's doing pretty much evenly, but the astounding difference is from Bright Nova against Wylade in mid. Wylade is down just about 60 minions in this, and he's also down 2 kills, and the difference is definitely showing in their items right now, Asana.
Yeah, Wylade has about 4,200 gold, and Bright Nova has 6,800 gold. So a large chunk of that gold advantage is actually from that one matchup. Obviously, every member of Day Wards has an advantage over every member of the red team here, Condemned Gaming, but most of that is coming from that mid lane there with that huge gold lead going for Bright Nova, and it is showing, like you said, with those items.
Right, and the tower does go, the second tower in mid goes down, bringing that lead to just about 8k now, and Day Ward's just not letting up on this pressure because they realize the potential of their late game, and Fupa Sniper just charging up that mirror mana, and Lurkin Sniper jumps in, the Deathfire Grasp goes down, and Blade Sword was going to go in, but he sees the entire team come down and collapse. They're just trying to stall some time right now, waiting for the rest of the members.
Yeah, luckily that ward does spot out the rest of Day Wards, because otherwise that would have been a very bad engage for them. So good job on the support warding out that.
And the charm does land on Fupa Sniper, and the Ignite goes down, but the shield, will it be enough to save him? Oh my god, he just lives with like 30 HP.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go back and actually see
And the
exactly how
command
much HP
shockwave
he had at
goes
the
on
end of
Hill
that.
of Shovel up top from Wile, but there's just not enough damage to follow up to take him down. So they do not have that cooldown for Condemned Gaming. So look to see Day Wars just keep pressuring and pressuring because, as I stated before, Vayne is trying to get to that late game. Fupa Sniper is trying to get to that the Mira mana, and so they are trying to get that boost in power. And Snicka is just forced to fight as the charm lands out on him, and Bright Nova is falling dangerously low, and she does go down to ignite. The shutdown kill goes to Fupa Sniper. Wilate's falling dangerously low. Blade Sword just running around, being a menace with that poison gas, and she does go down. It is a 2-for-1 exchange.
Now, I would say that the advantage probably goes to Condemned Gaming there, simply because they did get the shutdown on that Ahri. Vayne had no kills, and so she was worth about 300 gold. Ahri, actually, it looks like
And
there
Fupa
might be
Sniper-
another kill.
Fupa Sniper just nearly misses that shock blast that would have indefinitely killed Blade Sorrow there, but he's got to count his blessings there. He was lucky that Rivax was there to provide a safety shield to thwart Fupa Sniper from chasing any further.
Yeah, that was really close in that bot lane. That's actually the second time that Fupa Sniper has almost taken out Singed and just missed that last shock blast. So Blade Sorrow is either playing really well, or Fupa Sniper's playing poorly, or they're both just lucky. So I guess they're not both lucky. Singed would be lucky, whereas Fupa Sniper would be the unlucky one.
Yeah. And the pings do go out from Day Wards. The dragon is up. They're going to take this pretty much uncontested, and as Condemned Gaming are just forced to farm up and ward up their jungle to prevent any more of these crazy Ahri plays coming up from Bright Nova.
Yeah, and Bright Nova's really the one that's carrying the team at this point. She has a ton of damage, and with that Deathfire Grasp, all of that damage is really just amplified. But this is the part of the game where Ezreal is actually going to kind of come into his prime, where Ezreal's the one that's going to be really scary, and Vayne isn't going to be really scary at this point in the game. She does have the most farm on the map, so she's doing well, and she's getting closer and closer to that late game Vayne, but she still needs a couple more big items. She only has a Zeal and a Blade of the Rune King at this point. So if Condemned Gaming can just get through this mid game into the late game, they should be able to pull a lead back here. It's not surprising that Day Wards have an advantage at this point, but the question is it going to be like every other game where they push that advantage to the win, or is Condemned Gaming going to be able to come back in this with their late game champions?
Absolutely. And as it stands right now, Blade Sorrow on bottom, keeping the pressure, but Condemned Gaming are fully grouped in mid, but maybe a little miscommunication. Not many, they're backing up. Lurkenberger just caught behind, and he just elastic slingshots to safety.
Yeah. So it also, one of the things to note, not only does Vayne have to get really big, but Wylade on that Orianna also has to be able to farm well, and she, I mean, aside from the
Snickers
jungle
walks into the wrong bush, and she does get charmed. She uses a cleanse, but actually takes out Bright Nova before she dies. The command shockwaves just went down. Shield and Swords ulti comes out. Wilade's just running for his life, and Day Wards are just cleaning up right now. Blade Sword is just going to try and get Lurkenberger. Fupa Sniper thinking he might be able to take someone down before this fight is over, but the Cell Division does pop. Blade Sorrow is running back in there, and the nice kill steal from Revox coming out there, and the ace going out for Day Wards.
And that was a very, very, very untimely fight for Condemned Gaming there. An ace for one is not that, just not exactly what you need at this point. All 5 members of Day Ward showed up in that fight before all 5 members of Condemned Gaming showed up in that fight, and it just, the messy engage, the Vayne going down early, just wasn't really what they needed at this point. However, Vayne did get shutdown gold off of Ahri, and she did use that to go back and complete that Phantom Dancer. And so she may or may not be able to springboard that into some big items that she needs to get to that late game stage. But I mean, I would say that it's not necessarily worth it because it was a 5-for-1 exchange, but Vayne did get the most gold out of that fight compared to every other single member on the map. Obviously, Day Wards did get more gold overall, but Vayne probably got the most individual gold in that exchange.
Yeah, great point. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, Sana, but like